Once upon a time, two retired teachers decided to convert their garage into a pottery studio. Along with their daughter and son, they built a business around the idea that the world could use a little more art and a lot more artists. We're the Kaya family. Welcome to Wocky Pots. Hi everybody, how you doing? How you been? How are things? Shane and Diana here with coffee time number 48 at Wocky Pots Studio. Diana, what are we going to talk about today?
Alrighty. Well, we did not have a coffee time last week. We kind of were playing a little hooky.
It was a mental health day.
Yes, mental health day. But actually, we had quite a bit of things that have been going on. We had our 33rd wedding anniversary.
So yeah, we've been married for 33 years. We've been together way longer than that, but we've been married for 33 years.
And we had a lot of days of practice driving with Christopher.
Right, yep.
Yeah, because he now has his permit. So we have to practice our driving every day. So we had a lot of things going on. And then, but we did still find time to do our pottery, just not the very long days that it had been over the summer. Instead, we've been having much shorter days, more like 5-hour days, and finding a new routine.
Right.
Yes. So last week we did make quite a few things.
Right, we did.
I think we made about 35 pieces altogether.
And that's not counting the small, or is that counting the small things too? I don't know.
It might be. I'm not sure.
We made some decently sized pieces, and now we maybe got a couple more things to make so that we have enough to fill the kiln for our next bisque load, which will be going in a couple days. And that will be the final load of pottery that's going to our holiday sale at the Shinkigaon Farmers and Artisans Market.
Right. I know I had some favorites last week, so I brought my favorites out to the table. I did do more than 4 pieces last week because, you know, there were a couple of weeks, guys, that I was like, oh, I didn't make anything.
And that's okay.
But I did bring my favorites out, and you'll notice everything has a handle. I've got my mug that has a medallion attached to the front, and this one happens to have a chicken, you know, a happy little chicken. I have another one that has an underglazed decal, and I think that's the one that has the owl on the front. I'm not positive. You could be looking at Canada geese.
Who knows?
Who knows? And then just this morning, I finished up my sweater mugs. And if you remember last year, the sweater mugs, when I made them, they were straight-sided.
Right.
I had not yet
figured out how to belly it out,
and I tried to belly them out. They still stayed flat last year. So,
well, these look awesome.
But these are very nice and fat, plump little things.
Yep.
And then on the table, you had been doing soup mugs on the wheel, and so I decided, okay, it's about time for me to try to do a soup mug with my hand building, but I didn't want it to look like just a regular cup with a handle. So I tried to make a different looking soup bowl. I know I'll probably break it. No. Nah. There we go. So it's, you know, it's a little bit bellied out at the bottom.
I will show pictures for this, guys.
And I did attach the bottom in a different way. So in fact, I'll be sharing how I did that later this week.
I love what you did with the bottoms on that. I think that's very unique, and I cannot wait to see that all glazed.
It just gives it a little difference. So, you know, I like things to be different. So that was fun.
Yeah, fantastic.
Did you have? I assume these were your favorites.
Right. So these are my favorites from the week. I've made a couple of soup bowls. These are not huge, by the way. These are what I would consider a large single serving of soup, but they have lids that will come off. Now, I'm not super happy with the fit of the lid on this one. I feel like my lid could have been a little bit larger, but I think this one's going to be just fine. And really, they're meant to, you know, you pour a bowl of soup and then you can put a lid on it, and it will keep it hot for a while. And I can't wait to make a couple more of these. But these were the ones that I made that I wanted to show you guys. Also, this morning I did make a sugar and creamer set on the wheel. But I'm not going to show them to you because they haven't, like, I don't have handles on them. They haven't been trimmed, and right now they don't look like anything. but that's what they will be. It's a sugar bowl with a lid and a creamer. And then a couple of other little cups I made this morning as well. But in addition, I've got a couple of my regular handled mugs here. And this one I think is going to be fantastic. I think that's going to be perfect.
Nice size.
And then a couple of wine cups with no handle.
Love the wine cups.
We don't have many of these, so we need to make, if we can, a few more of the handleless vessels. And there's a couple other things too. I think there might be a couple of mugs behind me and stuff that I made as well. But it was a pretty productive period of time.
Yes.
It's been good.
And it was nice because one of the other things I did last week was I went to the Maryland Alpaca and Fiber Festival up in Friendship, Maryland.
She did not come home with an alpaca.
No, but I came home with lots of yarn. Yes. But while I was there, my friend Kim and I, we were walking around, and all of a sudden I hear, Wocky pots! And I'm like... And I look, and I turn around, and there's the pottery table set up, and it was of dust and dew. And
I will put a link to their
Yes.
webpage in the description of the video.
And when I had gone last year, I met them. And so I was like, how on earth did they remember me? You know, and she looked at me and she said, we watch you guys.
Thank you very much for
So,
watching
hi, guys.
Of Dust and Dew. We appreciate you. We really do.
And so while I was there, I was going to get a Christmas ornament because one of the wonderful things about pottery, you go somewhere, you see pottery, guess what? You usually buy pottery. However, I have to share this, guys, because they gave me this Christmas tree ornament. And so it is lovely. And look how cute it was packaged.
Very nice.
It was very nice. So I just love it.
It's a beautiful little ornament.
It's a Christmas tree.
I will show closer
And it has
pictures.
an underglazed decal of a butterfly on it.
Fantastic.
And this is going on our Christmas tree. So thank you so much, guys.
And I know it's a little early, but our
Yes.
tree's going up pretty soon.
It
Next few
is.
days, we'll be having our
Yes.
tree up.
And in fact, when I came home that night, I'm coming down the road. Kim drove me, and she's dropping me off at the house. And we're like, did he get more solar lights? Why is it? And we're getting closer and closer. And Kim says, Diana, I think he's put up Christmas lights.
Our property looks like an airport, you guys. We got lights all around our Wocky Pot sign and around the dog pen
Yes.
in the front of the house.
Yes.
And it was fun to put those up.
Yes. And I will say, as you can see behind us, I did a little decorating myself here in the studio.
We're feeling festive.
We're feeling festive. That's right. You know, if it makes you happy, do it.
Right. Yep.
Doesn't matter when. So that was fun. We also did some work that's not too fun this week because you did some reclaim.
Well, reclaim is never fun for me, although this time I was particularly interested in doing the reclaim because I came across about 10 pounds of a black clay that I've used a long time ago. And did a little bit of research on it and found out a little bit more information about it. And I'm reclaiming it in the hopes of using that last bit of black clay. Now, right now, it looks like a dark chocolate brown while it's in wet form. But once it's fired, it turns almost coal black, the clay itself. And I can't wait to make something out of it. Depending on how the reclaim process works, I don't know if I will slab it out and hand build something or if I will put it on the wheel. I do recall that it was a joy on the wheel. It was a lot of fun to throw with it. The bad thing about it is because it's black clay, it is such a contaminant with our other clays. Like it is so dirty compared to the other clays that we use. So I have to keep it strictly contained and not have the tools mix, and certainly have to completely wipe down the wheel before and after using it. But I think it'll be worth it. If I can get a couple of pretty art bowls out of it, I think that's really what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I know when I use the Kentucky Mudworks Iceman, it being white, all the other clays that we use in the studio can contaminate.
Right, the
it.
least little
So,
speck of
yes,
sheltoey brown
will show up.
will
You
show
know,
up.
yeah. So, I know all about that, having to be careful.
Yep, gotta keep it strictly separated. So anyway, I will be putting that on the wheel. Hopefully in the next few days. Although I doubt very much that anything I make with it will make it to the holiday market. We're running pretty close on time for that.
Right, and then also last week we had our homeschool art kids into the studio.
Always a joy.
Yes, it was a great time. We were talking about variety that's used in abstract art with the different elements and principles,
and you came up with a really awesome game for them to play. We played a game where we used dice to roll to get a number, and then depending on what the number was, you would add an element to the work that you were doing. So it ended up being partly drawing, partly collage kind of a thing. And you can see an example of it right over here. And that was so much fun. We had so much fun with the kids. I was really surprised at how much fun that was. It was, and I think it was the whole game aspect of it. It was fun.
It was fun, and everybody was rolling their dice, and they'd be doing different things, and everybody's like, "What are you doing now?" You know, so it's kind of fun to do, and I keep thinking to myself, maybe I should do something like that with pottery sometime.
Yep.
You know, and see what turns out.
Sure.
You know, be something different. That would be fun.
You never know.
Yes, and this week we don't have a challenge that we're going to share because we're both going to share a highlight.
It's been such an awesome experience the last actually couple weeks. That we're not going to show you any challenges because I'm sure everybody has their own challenges that they're thinking about anyway. But for us, we've got a couple of highlights. And you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Mine is short.
Okay.
You know, I told you all once before that I'm on a bowling league. Let me tell you, I am the worst bowler on the bowling league, but I am doing it and I'm enjoying it and it's a fun time. Well, I bowled my highest score yet, everybody. I am the proud owner of a 150 score.
Ooh, nice.
That's still low compared to everybody else, but it's okay because it's my highest, and that makes me happy.
Yep. Well, and it's a constant quest for improvement,
That's
right?
right.
We're always trying to get better.
You know, my average when I started was an 83, so that 150 is really good. Yes, I'm happy.
Okay, so my turn?
Yes, your turn.
All right, so a few weeks ago, Carolyn approached me with the idea that she wanted to take some hunter safety classes and get a hunting license. And I'm from a family of hunters, but I had never had my license, and I never have actually gone hunting as an adult. So she wanted me to work with her or take classes at the same time, and then we can go up and get our hunting license together. And we went up yesterday?
Friday.
2 days ago. We went up 2 days ago to Owens Mills, Maryland, which is about a 3-hour drive for us. And the instructor apologized over and over for how long we had to drive on the road. And I had to tell him it was no big deal because we literally, Carolyn and I, got in my pickup truck a couple years ago, and we drove all the way to Chicago just to look at a comic book store. So it wasn't a big deal for us at all. But we got to the training center. We went through the training and the classes. And Carolyn took the written test, and I took the written test. And one of us scored a 100%, and one of us missed one question and got a 98. And I don't know if I want to tell you which was which. But I did not get the 100. Carolyn is going to be lording that over me for the rest of my mortal days. She beat me. And so that kind of seems like a theme for me with taking tests. Carolyn got a 100 on her test. I missed one question and got a 98. And that reminded me of the time that I took a motorcycle safety class with my twin sister Shannon. Hi Shannon, if you're watching, I love you. And Shannon scored higher than me on the test for the motorcycle safety class too. So it's just one of those things. I'm destined to not be perfect, and that's all right. I'm perfectly happy with not being perfect.
Yes, I like you just the way you are.
I do too. I like me just the way I am. So we had a great time, a great father-daughter excursion, finished up the class, got our certificate. We stopped at Walmart on the way home and got our actual hunting licenses. and it's been a lot of fun. And now, we've got something else we can look forward to doing together. And it was great. In fact, Carolyn's coming this afternoon to pick up an old 4-wheeler that we have here at the house, and she may end up using it, or she may end up selling it. Who knows? But anyway, it's fun times. That was definitely a highlight for me. Guys. It was great.
Yes, and I've been hearing about it ever since. So.
I can legitimately wear camo now without being a poser. I can wear a camo jacket, like as a fashion statement.
Yes.
I can wear camo.
Yes.
I'm allowed to.
Yes. So this week we have a question. Sarah asked us, can all pottery go in the microwave?
It's a very good question, because you're tempted to say, well, hey, if it's that durable, if it's made out of almost stone, why not put it in the microwave? But turns out,
yes, it really, no, not all pottery can go in the microwave. It depends on the clay that is used. I will say that stonewares and porcelains are usually more likely to be able to go in the microwave. The earthenware, sometimes the absorption rate on that earthenware can make it crack more easily.
So what happens is, if water is absorbed into the ceramic material, into the cup itself as liquid water, and then it gets hot enough for those liquid water droplets to turn into water vapor, what can happen then is it expands, and you can cause cracks or even blowouts in the microwave from the water that's absorbed into the clay. So that's one danger, but there's another danger too.
Well, and also along the clay lines, I read that depending on the amount of iron that's in the earthenware, you could get sparks.
Oh, well,
I didn't know that one.
Well, in some of the metals, like one of my favorite glazes is ancient copper, but it turns out that it looks very copper, but there's not enough actual copper in it to affect it going in the microwave. So even our ancient copper glazed items that we use or that we make, they can still go in the microwave perfectly safely with no problem at all. But if there's, but that's the glaze. But if the clay body itself has enough metal, like iron, then that could cause sparking from the clay body.
Yes.
Now, there's another thing, too.
Yes, the other thing with the glazes is its toxicity, whether it's a food-safe glaze or not. Not all glazes that potters use are food-safe. All the glazes that we use are. We're very, very particular about that.
Right, but some glazes are only for looks and not to be actually
And
used.
then sometimes folks will add a luster that's a gold luster or some other metal luster.
Think of a fancy porcelain set of dishes with gold around the rims. It might be perfectly safe to drink out of that cup. But if you put that cup in the microwave, bad things happen.
Right. So you do have to be careful of that. And then the last thing that could make a piece of pottery not safe to go in the microwave is if there's a chip or a crack in the piece.
Right. And that gets back to it absorbing a little bit of liquid water. The liquid water changes to water vapor explosively if it can't find an easy avenue of escape. So it gets absorbed in as liquid water and then possibly gets hot enough to cause an explosion.
Right. So my suggestion, Sarah, is if you have a piece of pottery and you know who made the pottery, ask them if the clay was microwavable, ask them if the glaze was microwavable, and if the answer is yes to both, then you're probably good to go. If you found a piece of pottery at a thrift store and you have no information about it, you can look up on the internet how to do a microwave test on your piece of pottery, and that way it'll let you know whether you should use it in there or not.
Yep. And the same kind of goes for dishwasher safe too. You got to do your research and figure it out. In the absence of being able to confer with the original maker, you got to do the best you can. For us, we're pretty picky about all of our pieces being safe for the microwave and for the dishwasher, as well as being naturally food safe.
Yep. Alrighty, and now we're going to move on to this week.
Lots coming up this week too.
There is, because we have a show this week on Wednesday. It's just a little short show. We're going to be set up for 2 hours. at the NASA, our local NASA, and their employees are going to be coming by and purchasing gifts for the holidays.
Right, and we only get one table, so we won't be, we're not expecting to sell out of pottery.
No, but I think that's a great thing that they do for their folks. So that's kind of fun. Also this week, I'm going to start filming a soup mug tutorial so I can show you how I made my soup mug. And then that way, if you want to make a soup mug similar to mine, you can do that. Other than that, I know something I'm going to be working on.
What?
You remember how I've been talking about I want to make a pottery planner?
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
I am the queen of planners.
Right, yeah.
Yes, I write in a planner every day of life. I do not function without my planner.
I'm quite different. I tried using a daily planner. It was a little overwhelming. The best way for me to plan things out is to just do a simple to-do list. Like a list of things to check off works fine with me. But all the other little elements that you thrive with are distracting for me.
Yes, so I've got my little notes written out, and it'll be yearly, monthly, then break it on down to the week, and place for notes, and So
and you want to make a version for pottery.
Yes, just for making pottery. Yes, because then I have more space. So I don't have just all of my life in one planner. I can have the pottery in one planner, and then the rest of my life can be in the other planner.
Yep.
One can never have enough planners.
False. That's not
or at
true.
least for me.
Because I don't do well with them.
So
a simple to-do list is helpful to me. I can function well with a simple to-do list, but not the full-blown planner.
And then this week we also are going to be making some more pottery.
I'm going to make 5 dog bowls because that's how many wooden bats I have on my for my wheel. And those 5 bowls, if I get them done like today, will be ready for the holiday market.
Yeah, and this will be the last bit of stuff that we're making for the holiday market. I know you had mentioned earlier today we need quite a few more ornaments because they can always get shoved up close without touching, so that we can make sure every available space
kiln
is
fillers.
Filled.
We want the entire kiln to be packed this time.
Yes, and then this week I'm also going to be making something brand new, and it is called a Hearth Keeper Star. And what that is it's like a 3-dimensional star. Basically, I'm going to make 2 stars to put them together, and the inside is going to be hollow, but on that hollow inside will be a little pottery heart, and so when you shake it you will hear the little rattling sound. But there is folklore that goes along with the hearth keeper star, and that it's something that helps you to get through the tough times. And I thought, well, that's a really neat tradition. So there's a whole lot more to the folklore, and I'll share that another time maybe, but I want to work on making one of those and see how it turns out.
Sounds fun.
I think it'd be fun. And we do have a hearth, so
yep,
I'm happy. I'll put it in there with our stuff.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Yep,
Yes.
for sure. Yep.
Yes, so but I think that's probably it.
I will continue to work on my ancient kick wheel. I have not worked on it very much lately at all, but my intention is for that to be finished and in the studio being used before much longer. I'd intended for it to be done by now, but we just haven't had the time.
Right, but that's good.
Yep.
Alrighty then.
All right, anything else we need to talk about?
No, I think that is it.
All right, guys. Listen, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. We will have a map update coming soon.
Right.
So if you have not yet left us a comment telling us where you're watching from, please do that. And then we'll make sure to note it down and then include you in our next map update, the next one we do. I'm not entirely sure exactly when, but I know we're due for one.
Yes.
So
or if you have a question that you'd like us to answer, please feel free to ask.
Anything that you would like to know about the world of pottery, we can certainly do our best with it.
We try.
Yep. Are we all done?
We're done.
Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Toodaloo, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. See you later. Have a fantastic day no matter where you're at. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.